We can speak now to Ian Reifowitz, who is author and a professor at Empire State College, who joins us from New York. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Professor. Help us put this in perspective. Just how damaging do you think this book is for President Trump?
I think it's quite damaging. And honestly, I'm not sure that the quotes from Steve Bannon are the most damaging thing. To me, just on a first take, to me, the most damaging thing is the idea that President Trump ran for office believing, and in fact, he even promised his wife this, that he was not going to win and that he never wanted to win, that he set out to run for the presidency simply in order to gain greater fame and wealth for himself, not to serve the American people. And if you think about this, what he's done is essentially he spent a year and a half asking the American people to make him their leader, to put their security and their prosperity in his hands, and he never even wanted the job in the first place. It makes the entire campaign a trick, really a devious trick played on the American people by Donald Trump for selfish reasons. I think the American people can forgive a lot. They can forgive a president who might feel like he's in over his head or sometimes doesn't make the right decisions. But I don't think they can forgive a person for seeking control over their lives in the way that a president has when he didn't even think he himself was up for the job. That's something that I'm not sure how he can repair, if that's true. And there certainly are a lot of sources saying that.
For supporters of the whole Trump movement, their loyalties are really being tested at the moment, aren't they? Because Steve Bannon has been such a key part of the Trump movement up until this point, well, at least until last summer. Are people very publicly now starting to take sides, do you think, Professor?
Absolutely. And you can see this, for example, with the Mercer family. The Mercer family backed both Donald Trump with a significant amount of money, but had been backing Steve Bannon even longer than that by putting money into Breitbart, a website and news organization that Bannon ran before and after his time in the White House. The Mercers have now split with Bannon. They've chosen Trump. And I think you've got more power if you're the president of the United States than you do if you're the guy who runs a website. And so the people who have to choose between Bannon and Trump, I think for the most part, are going to choose Trump. And if Bannon has been cast out of the president's circle, then I think he's going to have a hard time maintaining relationships with major power players. Now, that may be okay with Bannon. He might like to be an outsider and a bomb thrower, but I'd certainly rather be doing that with the support of people like the Mercers and their millions than not.
A lot of people there in the United States are asking, why, if Steve Bannon stands to lose so much from this series of revelations, why did he do it?
Wow. I spent the better part of a year trying to get inside Donald Trump's head, and I never seem to get that right. So I'm loath to try to get into Steve Bannon's head right now. I think the best answer is that Steve Bannon, like Donald Trump, is a person who has a certain personality, and he's unable to or unwilling to be strategic when it comes to his personality. He's a bomb thrower. I mean, this is a man who said openly that he admired Vladimir Lenin, but because Lenin was somebody who knew how to tear things up, to destroy things. And I think that's what Steve Bannon thinks is the right way to go. Mind breaking windows and letting the chips. Yeah, I've given you a couple of cliches there. Sorry about that. But I just think this is who Steve Bannon is.
And of course, all these efforts to try to hush up the book and to try to silence the author and perhaps even put a legal block on the book's publication, that seems to have had the opposite of the desired effect, hasn't it? That's just boosted the hype and boosted the sales of the book. Is that how things look to you, Professor?
Yes. I mean, look, there's nothing more exciting than going to see a movie or reading a book that the government doesn't want you to see. And I don't know if Donald Trump figured, you heard, in the quote you heard from the author in this segment just before I came on, the author said that Trump was advised that it was a bad move strategically to escalate this feud and try to get the book banned. It didn't matter. The American people and most people in any free society are not going to be told what to do by their government. And from a conservative movement that claims to be anti-government control, I can't imagine that that the idea that they're the ones now telling people what they should read is going to go over too well in the broader American community.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us, Professor Ian Reifowitz at the Empire State College in New York. Thank you very much indeed.